Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
Let's go to Representative Jackson. Whoo! He's in Georgia. That's Mr. Jackson, Representative Jackson. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Thanks for holding.
Always for you, Karen. Always for you. And good afternoon to you, Sina, as well.
Thank you, Representative Jackson.
Karen,
great to hear you.
I agree with you, Karen. What is the standard, right? We as Democrats right now, we're dealing with a situation here in Georgia where Senator Ossoff is asking for Nikema Williams to step down. And so we have this one loss where she was the chair in 2019, 2020, when Biden won, 2021 when he won, and Senator Warnock won. And so I just get this impression that Democrats have to be perfect, right? Al Franken, he lost his Senate job because of a photo he did a number of years ago. But meanwhile, to your point, Karen, we got an individual with 34 felonies. That's the highest number of felonies in the history of this country. And so the one caller that called into your show, Karen, that said there's one person that President Biden commuted. So now we're just going to throw everybody out because of this one person. And I'm saying to myself, come on, y'all. We're playing chess, not checkers here. We're dealing with a situation. Are Democrats perfect? No, we're not. But you cannot convey to me, because Kamala Harris lost, and we're going to have to deal with a conversation now because the talk now, Karen, is, well, we need a white man as the DNC chair. No, we do not. No, we don't. We need the best person as the DNC chair. And it's not always messaging, Karen. I mean, listen, this whole thing about one thing that hurt her race, it wasn't just Gaza. Now, some people didn't vote because of Gaza, but it was a number of things. But meanwhile, you got a buffet of things that her opponent had, and everybody's okay with that. So I called in because I love listening to your show, Karen.
Thank you.
But we got this whole infighting right now with Democrats. 2 weeks ago, or what?
Let me ask you.
When President Biden commuted Hunter, we had Democrats out there. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. But this orange dude, he said he's gonna commute everybody that's in jail from January 6th.
Let me ask you this. And I don't know if there's feedback coming through, Representative Jackson from Georgia, but yeah, everything you said is correct. But what does it mean to be a Democrat? Because you say you're a Democrat. What do you stand for? What is your platform? Like, what is the service to the community? Like, how do we, move away? Because it's a hard thing right now, because what has happened is they have allowed, and I'm saying Democrats as a they right now, allowed somebody else to define what they are, as opposed to, and reacting to the nonsense, right, at the same time, without being very vigilant in delivering a message. To your point, though, Kamala Harris, first of all, had a lot. If Joe Biden had stepped down like he said he would and have a primary like would be normal, perhaps we wouldn't be sitting here right now, because he said he was going to be one term and he was just doing that. But then he ran again, and then that debate happened, and it gave people an excuse to, it was just utter chaos. I'm not sure if it was on purpose, like at this point. But like, how do you navigate in your state as a Democrat now? What do you stand for?
So, and that's a great question. And as I shared with you in your listening audience before, as a father of 7 children, I have 4 daughters, 3 sons. I'm about to go into my 5th term as a representative here in Georgia, and I think about my platform is around healthcare, women's health in particular, and the things that I had to do not only to win my seat, but to show up. All right, we have to. We as Democrats have to, as Dr. Daniel Black said yesterday, we got to control our own narrative and control our own story, and not let other people dictate to us what our story is and who we are. Right? I do not deal with identity politics. Some of my colleagues do, but it's hard. But they ask me, well, why don't you do with identity politics? Because Democrats try to speak to a message to 100 different people. Meanwhile, Republicans only speak to one message, and that's to white men. They don't even speak to white women, Karen. And so I just say we got to talk to the issues that we believe in. We bring up forward the policies that we believe in, and then we must deliver those policies that we speak to.
Correct.
Which are
so what have you said 5 terms, Rep Jackson? What can you rattle off like 3 things that you've gotten done during that time?
Yes. So my one is healthcare. We need healthcare in this area, and the 7 cities that I cover, we were able to get not hospitals but urgent care during my tenure in these areas that need hospitals. But until we get hospitals, we have urgent cares that did not exist before my tenure. The second thing are the jobs in our area. And so we now have a plethora of jobs, from auto mechanic to air condition and those handheld jobs that folks tend to not have to go to college. We now have those jobs in my district. Third is infrastructure. We still had dirt roads. We want paved roads too. And so in these areas that I ran on, you have to deliver. And that's the reason why you keep getting reelected. Or in my case, I'm unopposed, because people say you're doing the work. And so we have to, as Democrats, we have to speak it, walk it, and deliver it. And if we do that, we will win. It's not like Trump had a landslide. She had 107 days, Karen. She raised over $1.4 billion. No one in the history of this 248 years ever had to do that. She had 74 million votes. That's 30 million votes more than Bill Clinton had. And so we just got to make sure, as you stated while you're talking to Cena, what is that standard? And then what that standard is, we have to deliver it. And we are about people. So if we're going to be about people, let's bring forward policies that are going to help not just Black people, white, Latina, Latinos, Hispanics, and everyone else.
So, Representative Jackson Cena here. I think one of the things that folks are reacting to when it comes to Judge Conahan and what that caller was talking about, and frankly, what I think is a general issue that maybe I have and what other people have within the Democratic Party, is that the passion is not there in a way that's speaking to the electorate. This story of a judge sending kids away and taking away their right to an attorney, the stories matter. Yes, it's great that of the accomplishments you've been able to make, but what wins elections, what galvanizes the American populace is a story, is a narrative, one that the Republican Party has now mastered from the bottom up. They create these narratives, whether there's a seed of truth or not, they work and they win elections because of them. And that is what is fundamentally missing. Instead of people are going to push back against President Biden commuting his son, but why didn't he come back and say with his full chest, this is my son, I'd do anything for him. I would die for my son. That's what
right.
I would do. And I would
That's
go
right.
on a limb and say you would do the same thing for your 7. Sweet Lord, I can't believe you have 7 children, by the way. I think it's amazing, but you would do anything for your kids. I would do anything for my kids.
And who would argue with that?
No
Do you
one.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is the problem. And we were saying this, maybe off mic, on mic, it doesn't matter because it's all a blur. We say the same thing on and off. But there's too much glad handing and tippy toeing and trying to make sure the message is crafted instead of telling the damn truth. Because that's the truth. He wasn't going to let his son be at the damn, at the whims of this. Yeah, he was going to save his son as he should have.